Hello, this is the first video on the Rupert Spira Foundation YouTube channel in which I will be sharing videos about the non-dual understanding for those who may never have come across it before. So this first video is simply, what is non-duality? The term non-duality refers to the recognition that reality is not made of two separate things, mind and matter, self and world, but is in essence a single indivisible whole. What seems to be a world of many separate things and people is at its core one seamless whole, appearing in many forms, but never in itself divided. This whole, this undivided reality is what you truly are. You are not a fragment, you are not a separate individual. Although you experience the world through the perspective of an individual mind and body, at the deepest level, you are not a fragment of the whole, you are the whole. You are one with everyone and everything. There is no real separation between you and any other person, animal, or the world. Everything is an expression of, or an appearance of, the same indivisible reality, appearing in different forms but sharing the same essence. And this recognition is not distant or extraordinary. It is not reserved for mystics or sages. It is something we already know and feel every day. We refer to it as love. When you love someone or even something, the sense of distance or separation between yourself and the other softens. The feeling of separation dissolves, and for a moment you are not two, you are one. In that moment you are tasting non-duality, you are tasting reality as it essentially is. Love is, as such, the collapse of the apparent boundary between self and other. It is not merely an emotion, but a glimpse of the underlying unity of all things. In this way, the non-dual understanding it's not just a philosophy, it's a lived, known, and felt in the most ordinary and human of experiences. Think of a film playing on a screen. The film seems to contain countless people, objects and places, each with distinct roles, movements and qualities. From within the story, they seem to be separate, independent entities. But if you were to touch the screen, you would find no real borders. The screen itself remains utterly continuous, undivided by the play of images. For the characters in the story, separation seems real. But from the point of view of the screen, the true reality of the film, there is only one seamless, undivided presence. The understanding of non-duality is just the same. In ordinary experience, we divide reality into two realms: an inner world of thoughts, images, memories, feelings, and so on, and an outer world of people, animals, and things. This dualistic perspective of a self in here and a world out there feels so natural that we seldom question it. But this sense of separation doesn't truly belong to reality itself. It arises only when reality is filtered through the lens of perception. Perception as it were, refracts the seamless whole, the seamless wholeness of reality, making it seem as if there are many separate objects and selves. This refracted view is what gives rise to the belief that reality is fundamentally made of parts, of separate things, separate people. But behind the apparent multiplicity, the great traditions all speak of one infinite, indivisible whole, expressing itself as the totality of all appearances. Strictly speaking, this one reality cannot be named, because every name and concept only describes its appearances, not its essence. Nevertheless, as a legitimate concession to our desire to speak of it, traditions throughout time have given it names that reflect the cultural language and understanding of their age. Some call it God, Brahman, Allah, Yahweh, Jehovah. Others spoke of the Tao, the Self, Spirit, consciousness, presence, awareness, or simply I. One of the great misunderstandings of human history, and indeed one of the great tragedies, is that we took these provisional names to be absolute, and in doing so forgot that they all pointed to the same reality. People began to argue and even to fight and kill one another, not over reality itself, but over the names and the forms given to it. But this same understanding shines through every great tradition. In Christianity, Jesus says, I and my Father are one. What I essentially am and what the universe essentially is are one. The same understanding in the Bhagavad Gita. Krishna declares Brahman is the imperishable, the supreme reality. It is the light of all lights, beyond darkness. It dwells in the hearts of all and in all things. And the Buddha taught, this world, with all its beings, is mind-made. All phenomena arise in mind, are sustained by mind, and return to mind. Likewise, the Sufi poet Jalaluddin Rumi wrote, the lamps are different, but the light is the same. And in the 20th century, the physicist Erwin Schrödinger observed, the total number of minds in the universe is one. In truth, consciousness is a singular knowing field. Across these diverse expressions runs a single insight, that the essence of everything, not only of you or me, but of the entire universe, is one infinite, indivisible reality, shining in and as all things. My own way of expressing this understanding is, of course, naturally shaped by the time, place, and culture in which I live. But I try as best I can to speak of it in a way that is free of religious or ideological affiliation, so that what is essential may be heard clearly without distortion. This is not a doctrine. It is not a belief system, not an understanding that is exclusive to one group of people. It is simply a way of seeing. that all of this, what we call our self and other, inner and outer, mind and matter, is the activity, the expression of one infinite, indivisible whole. So, to sum up, non-duality simply means that behind the multiplicity and diversity of appearances, and expressing itself as those very appearances, lies a single, indivisible reality. This reality does not share the limits of the objects that it appears as. It is not bound by time, contained in space, or confined by thought and feeling. It is infinite, not because it is vast, but because it has no borders, no dimension at all. And that is what you are. Not you as a person or a personality, but you as being itself, whole, undivided, ever-present, unchanging, and always at peace. Thank you.